All right, everybody. Hello, hello. This is math. Okay. We're going to start today, Thursday. We're going to start with a brain rip. Then we're getting into talking about some common parabolas. All right, we've talked about parabolas before. We're going to talk more about these and what makes them common after we talk a little bit more about the homework that we did the other day, which was shifts. Okay. Finding the vertex. All right, remember the vertex is that point way down here. All right, or the point way up here. All right. So we're going to find those and look for some commonalities between them. And then the vertex form of a nonlinear equation is this super form that we can all use to be able to find the vertex anytime. And then we got some homework I'll hand out, or Mr. Brown can hand out, whatever. All right, let's move on. So, we got a brain rip. Everyone's got their notebooks out in front of them. By now it's already, I'm sure, 8:16 because everyone's in their seat at 8:15. Excellent. All right, this is what I want you guys to do. All right, in your math notebooks with today's date. All right, show the shifts. All right, we have the function of x equals x plus 2 all squared minus 3. The function of x equals a negative quantity x minus 2 all squared plus 7. Then I want you to draw and graph the function of x equals x squared, the parent function. So just draw a graph. You don't need to use any of those fancy sticky graphs. Just draw one that you can put in there and draw the table that matches it. Okay? I'm going to pause it, or actually right now you can pause this, Mr. Brown, and pick it up once, maybe in about 5 minutes once everyone's got this done, because this should not take more than 2, 4, 5 minutes. All right? Okay, back to the lesson. So, what I would do if I was to look at this, I'm going to break this down into two shifts. All right, the plus 2 inside the parentheses and the minus 3 outside the parentheses. So those two things do different things to our parabola. All right, we know that this negative 3 affects the parabola in what way? Brittany, what do you think? Ha, did she look? Okay. Anywho, this negative 3, of course, Brittany's right. That makes the parabola or the function shift down. The vertex shifts down 3 places. All right, this makes it shift. It's positive. Remember, it's inverse. So that positive 2 ends up shifting the parabola to the left, which is the negative side of x. So it shifts it left 2 places. All right, something to keep in mind. This one shifts it down. It's negative. When it's inside the parentheses, that positive 2 actually shifts it to the left, which is negative. All right, looking at this one, we have a negative on the outside. That negative always tells us something. We have the negative 2 that tells us something, and we have the positive 7 that tells us something. This negative, what does that do for us, Kyle? You're right. It flips it upside down. All right. I don't know if you can hear what's going on out in the hall, but there sounds like shenanigans. But that's now. You're listening to this tomorrow. This negative 2, because it's the opposite, all right, that negative shifts the vertex to the right 2 places. And this shifts up 7 places. All right. Okay. So that's just like the homework, just like what we've been talking about. We have all these different shifts. All right. So now I want to draw a graph of the function, the parent function, the function of x squared. All right. To do that, what I want to make sure we do is that we understand that we can always do our table. So we have an x and we have the function of x. What happens when we plug x in And you know me, I love having these 5. All right, we did learn the other day that it's not always typical that these 5 will work. So now we can plug these in. If I plug in a -2 in here, -2 times itself is a +4. -1 times itself is a 1. 0 times itself is 0. 1 times itself is 1. 2 times itself is 4. So what that looks like is our vertex point, 1, 1, -1, 1, 2, 4, -2, 4, and it looks kind of like that. It's not a U, it's not a V, it's kind of a cross between the two. Son of a gun. I almost thought it was time to do attendance. Good afternoon, Mr. Schwartz, Pre-Tech. Good. Hi. Hold on one second, I just gotta pause this video camera.